Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. I am so pumped to have you here today because we are diving into something immensely powerful. We're going to pop the hood and look at the hidden mechanics of toxic relationship dynamics. Have you ever felt totally lost with someone? Like the ground is literally shifting beneath your feet and you just can't figure out why? Well, it turns out that confusion, it's not a random accident. It's meticulously designed. Today, we're decoding the architecture of emotional control. In this explainer, we're breaking down the exact blueprints and strategies that manipulators use to, honestly, hijack your reality. It's fascinating, it's highly structured, and understanding the whole shebang is your absolute key to breaking free. I want you to just stop and ask yourself something right now. Are you constantly explaining yourself for things you didn't even do? Just sit with that for a second. It's a massive, jarring red flag, isn't it? If you're finding yourself completely exhausted from defending your character against these totally baseless accusations, listen to me. You are not losing your mind. You are likely caught in the crosshairs of a highly specific psychological tactic. It's a brilliant, albeit totally destructive, maneuver designed to keep you completely off balance. And today, we're going to show you exactly how it works. Okay, let's dive right into layer one, the tactic of projection. So this is often the most visible, yet somehow the absolute most bewildering element of emotional control. When you first encounter this, it feels like a bizarre misunderstanding. You think to yourself, well, surely if I just explain it better, they're going to understand. But spoiler alert, this is not a miscommunication at all. It's a foundational tool in the architect's toolkit. It's basically the frontline defense mechanism for someone who is actively trying to hide their own toxic behavior. Just look at the paradox here. They might be secretly texting an ex, right? But they'll turn right around and fiercely accuse you of flirting with the barista. They package up their own covert crimes, whether that's lying, cheating, manipulating, and they project them entirely onto you. It's a complete script flip. Their actions suddenly magically become your alleged wrongdoings. And that right there brilliantly illustrates the exact purpose of this script flip. It completely shifts attention away from them and puts you firmly on the defense. I mean, think about the energy economy going on here. If you're spending all your time, all your emotional bandwidth, desperately trying to prove that you aren't cheating or you aren't lying, what are you not doing? You're not looking at their behavior. It's literally the ultimate psychological smokescreen. They keep you so incredibly busy defending your own integrity that you completely miss the very real sabotage they're committing right in front of your face. Which brings us to our next major section. Let's move to layer two, the pattern behind all tactics, and see how this builds. While projection is an incredibly effective tool, we really need to zoom out a bit to see the bigger picture here. Those crazy-making arguments and accusations, they aren't just random emotional outbursts from a stressed partner. No, they are part of a highly calculated, systematic blueprint. They might use different methods on different days, but they all serve the exact same overarching goal. Step one, control perception. If they can alter how you see reality, like using projection to make you think you're the bad guy, they can smoothly slide right into step two, controlling your emotions. Because your perception is totally skewed now, suddenly you feel guilty, you're anxious, you're super eager to please them just to fix this imaginary problem. And once they've got your emotions, step three is effortless. They control your behavior. It's a seamless domino effect. By simply distorting the lens you view the relationship through, they end up dictating your actions without you even realizing it. The rhythmic cadence of what happens once that perception is shaped is honestly devastating. First, you tolerate more, because you've been manipulated into thinking you're partly or totally to blame, so you let their bad behavior slide. Second, you question less. Being in a constant state of defense has completely zapped your critical thinking skills. You just don't have the energy to fight anymore. And third, you stay longer. You become anchored to a reality that doesn't actually exist, just waiting around for a resolution to a problem you didn't even create. These three things, tolerating more, questioning less, staying longer, they are the absolute measurable outcomes of successful emotional manipulation. Now we've reached the deepest part of the explainer. Layer 3, the 0.01% insight. We are peeling back the final core layer of this psychological onion to explain a really profound, frankly heartbreaking mystery: why incredibly smart, capable, self-aware people find themselves totally trapped in toxicity. So here is the absolutely crucial point. The strongest control isn't fear. It's emotional dependency mixed with confusion. This completely shatters that common societal myth that victims stay strictly because they're terrified of their abuser. Now, while physical or emotional fear can absolutely be a factor, the data shows us it's often not the primary anchor keeping someone stuck. The true paradox of control is that it relies on making you deeply depend on the exact person who is actively confusing and dismantling your sense of self. You literally become hooked on the dynamic itself. Let's map out exactly how this insidious cycle of dependency is actually built. It happens in 3 distinct, super predictable phases. First, the manipulator gives you intense highs. Think of that crazy honeymoon phase, the grand gestures, the feeling that, wow, I finally met my soulmate. Then, totally out of nowhere, step 2, they create devastating lows. They withdraw their affection, they attack you, they project. But here's the absolute most sinister part. Step 3, they blame you for those lows. They generate the exact pain that is currently crushing you and then convincingly tell you that it's all your fault, sending you scrambling frantically to earn back those highs from step 1. And because of this exact roller coaster, we arrive at a truly startling truth. Your brain bonds deeper, not weaker. I just want to let that sink in for a second. It's a shocking neurological reality. I mean, logic would tell you that experiencing those manufactured lows and being unfairly blamed for them would make you want to run for the hills, right? That it would weaken your connection to them. But human neurology is wild. The intermittent reinforcement, that highly unpredictable mix of intense highs and agonizing lows, it actually supercharges the survival and attachment circuits in your brain. This phenomenon actually has a formal psychological name. It's called a trauma bond. It's a deep emotional dependency rooted in a cyclical pattern of intense highs, created lows, and misplaced blame. It is absolutely vital that you grasp this term. You need to understand that a trauma bond is a biochemical and psychological reality. It's a literal restructuring of how your brain seeks safety and reward. It is not a sign of personal weakness. Realizing that is the very first, totally necessary step toward dismantling this architecture of emotional control that's been built around you. Which leaves us with a final, really stark question to ponder. Knowing this blueprint, how much of your reality is being shaped by someone else? I really want to challenge you to reevaluate your own experiences and maybe even the experiences of people you care about through this lens today. Are your perceptions truly your own, or have they been meticulously sculpted by someone else's unseen architecture? Understanding all this, it isn't just about memorizing psychological terms. It's about taking back the pen and realizing you have the power to write your own reality. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer today. Keep seeking the truth, stay curious, and I'll see you next time.